Hi. Now, for the last week here, I'd like to talk about the concept of distributed energy. Distributed energy, a lot of people, they thought that nuclear power would be the answer to reduce carbon-based emissions in the atmosphere, but then the problem in Fukushima, Japan, kind of illustrated the downside of nuclear power. Matter of fact, there's still problems with that plant today. Distributive energy is energy that is efficient, reliable, and environmentally friendly. The difference is what Rifkin describes as distributive energy is found everywhere, like sunlight, wind, where fossil fuels are only found in specific locations. Rifkin also describes distributive energy as environmentally friendly and that it's storable. Now, what he meant by storable is that he says that a system can be created. And he kind of uses the analogy of flash drives and storing data on computers, that we have the capability of creating energy and systems to store it, where once these systems are networked, people could literally store energy and share it through these energy networks. And doing this would actually create a much more sustainable planet, and one that's capable of sustaining a larger population. He likes to use the word distributive capitalism, where there is a worldwide system for sharing energy. There are some current examples. For example, there was an entrepreneur in Pittsburgh who was working on the idea of a 120-acre eco-industrial park where energy is shared among the different industries within the park, and the chemical waste is shared. Now, what they meant by that was they said that the chemical waste for one company can be the raw material for another, and with the proper type planning, with the right companies in this industrial park, they could have that set up where the waste produced by one becomes the raw material for another, so they're using everything. Rifkin's also working with the city of San Antonio to develop a distributive energy system, and he's also been working in Rome, Italy. Whereas Rifkin's done a lot of work in consulting in Europe, and this is about this whole concept of distributive energy. Some visions that some people have. Beatley envisioned a U.S. economic stimulus package that would focus on communities that created infrastructure for distributed energy. So this would make the communities greener and sustainable, while at the same time stimulate the economy. Robert Wright they compared it to President Roosevelt's investment in the infrastructure in 1933. That it makes sense that the country benefits from it and at the same time stimulates the economy. There's also the Dinsey model. And the Dinsey model is a cost model that supports the development of distributive energy systems. And this model was applied to 11 different cases simulating real conditions. So studies like this are important because they kind of push this whole notion or this vision or this idea. They push it ahead a step. In summary, let me say that distributive energy generation is a solution, and it appears to be an ideal solution. It's environmental friendly, it's safe, it's found everywhere, and can be implemented profitably. We just need to switch over to it. There are also consultants available today to assist communities who want to transition to such a model. Rifkin's an example. And this approach also makes it possible to sustain 7 billion people, which is certainly something a lot of people are thinking about, because we're not doing it well now. The discussion question is pretty interesting that goes along with this week. I think you're going to enjoy it. Number one, watch the short video from National Geographic on global warming, and then there's a new one out I added here. I don't know if any of you saw Ann Curry's documentary Sunday evening on the climate, but it was very good. There's a short video from NBC News. This is at their site. I think it's about 2.5 minutes. That's an excerpt from that Ann Curry documentary. And then there's the Yale Project on Climate Change, and it describes 6 Americas. And this, I think, is a really interesting piece of work. I think you'll enjoy it. Certainly, there's a lot of people in America who are confused on this topic, and some who have not bought in, and this really does a nice job of explaining it. There's actually a lot of sources supporting this. I've got, of course, I've used the citations in the attachment, and I have all the links here as well. So distributive energy is a viable concept for solving our problems with global warming and the environment. Thank you.